You know what? I can say that Washington should use the term repressive regime and everything that you quoted regarding Washington, with regard to Washington, because it is hard to imagine more repressive regime than Washington in international and national affairs. So far, Washington has not given so far any credible information or evidence that Indian citizens are involved in the preparation of killing of some Pannun. As for the speculations, since there is no evidence, they are not acceptable. Regular groundless accusations by the US against New Delhi, and we see that they not only accuse groundlessly New Delhi, but also other states in violating religious freedoms.
On the case of Pannun's alleged killing plot hatched by Indian agents in USA, which the USA is conducting illegal process, there has been indictment which suggests that Indian agents or officials were involved in directing some people on ground to kill Pannun, who has been an active anti-India pro-Khalistani force or voice in USA. Now, Russia has also accused USA of trying to play high-handedness in the entire case. The Russian Foreign Ministry spokesperson Maria Zakharova answering a question as to how does Russia sees the entire accusation game played by USA, said that these allegations are unfounded accusation and USA aims to destabilize Indian elections, which are ongoing right now. The spokesperson said that Washington lacks simple understanding of India's national mentality and history as America continues to make unfounded accusations. We have seen the recent report by US State Department also suggested India is not a space where the freedom of expression or the freedom of religion is being allowed to be practiced, and there are some curbs, some imposition that is coming from the state agencies. The report also counted or chronicled several incidences of alleged human rights violations, which of course has Indian Ministry of Foreign Affairs reacted, saying that they attach no value to such reports and asked media also not to attach any value to such report. But at the same time, Russia has also, in that context of that report, said that these accusations about religious freedoms are also accusations against Delhi. The reason behind such accusations is to unbalance the internal political situation in India and complicate the general election. This is what the Russian Foreign Ministry spokesperson Maria Zakharova has said. She also said that Washington itself has been one of the most repressive regime in the world, and they kind of have no right to lecture around the world on the issues of democracy and morality. See, on the issue of Washington Post getting selective media leaks about the issue of how the entire probe or the investigation in the Pannun case is ongoing, said that the Washington Post, it seems to me, should use the term repressive regime and everything you quoted in relation to Washington. It is difficult to imagine a more repressive regime than Washington, both in domestic and international affairs. Now, so we do know how Washington is treating its protesting students across the universities on the issue of Gaza war, which the Israeli army is trying to invade. About 30,000 or more people have been killed. Most of them are terrorists. That is what the Israeli version says. But we do know a climactic, catastrophic situation of human rights issue where thousands of children have died without getting enough of food or medical aid. Pregnant women have died. And everything is happening under the aegis of USA, under the support of USA. And that is what US universities are witnessing a very very courageous student, a very large number of protests happening across the US universities, and that is being repressed by brutal police force. We have seen police crackdown happening on those encampments that the students have created across universities in various parts of the country at the thick of the night or in the early morning hours when the students were sleeping, and then they charged on these students, tried to dismantle their encampment and tried to bully them, arrest several of them, detain several of them, and many students were injured in those attempts also. So the repressiveness of USA regime against the peaceful, unarmed, democratic protesters in US universities is something that US needs to answer for itself, while it is lecturing the countries around the world how they should practice the democratic values and ethos. Now, talking about the general elections accusation, the Russian Foreign Ministry spokesperson also said that the US needs to know about how Indian mentality, Indian history has been, and it says that the reason is the desire to unbalance the internal political situation in India in order to complicate the general parliamentary elections taking place in the country. And of course, this is a part of interference in India's internal affairs. So that is what the Russian Foreign Ministry spokesperson Maria Zakharova had to say, that Pannun case or the cases related to reports coming out by the released by the State Department suggesting that India is not allowing freedom of religion to be practiced by the minority communities, or there are several human rights violation cases that the report is trying to chronicle. These are all an attempt to imbalance the ongoing general election process that is ongoing, and these are also internal affairs of India, which USA is of course trying to meddle in. And this is what the Russian spokesperson Maria Zakharova had to say on the entire issue.